Hey guys, Dazzler Magic here. We've got more bro spoilers for you bros. There's a ton of them, so we're going to blast through them. So first up, we got Clay Revenant, a 1-drop 1/2 in the common slot. Colorless, that's already a little questionable. Artifact Creature Golem. And Clay Revenant enters the battlefield tapped. Okay. And then if you pay 3, including 1 black, return Clay Revenant from your graveyard to your hand. Okay, so that exists. Next up, Giant Growth. No big surprise here. It's kind of like Titanic Growth, except fair. So it's a 1-cost green instant. Target creature gets +3/+3 till end of turn. I mean, you gotta have those instant speed low-cost ambushes for draft. Kind of fills up the color, and we all knew that green was not going to be the strong color in this set, so not surprising. Next up, Mishra's Juggernaut. It's a 5-cost 5/3 artifact creature Juggernaut with trample, and it attacks each combat if able, just like most Juggernauts, and unearth 6. So that's just a big boy coming at you, but I mean 5/3, there's no real actual advantage to this. Well, except for Artifact Affinity, which is kind of in the set. Hooray. Next up, Overwhelming Remorse. It's a 5-cost black instant common, in other words, unplayable. And this spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature card in your graveyard. Ooh, it just became playable. Exile target creature or planeswalker. Holy crap, this is way too good. The problem is it's completely lopsided. When you need it to cost a little bit, it doesn't. And when you don't care what it costs because it's the only card in your hand, it's late game, you don't need it to be cheaper. But blowing up a planeswalker for 1 and then proceeding to do something is great, but you probably have a way to refill your hand consistently if that's the case, which means you're probably playing blue-black or blue-black-white, which means you're probably an asshole. So I don't love this card, actually. Story Spotlight, though, by the way. Tocasia. Is he related to Focasia, the creator of some tasty bread? I just triggered every Italian with that. And yes, it's Italian, not Italian. You know, like the word italics. We say stuff however the hell we want here in Wisconsin. Deal with it. If you don't like it, I'm going to leave and go down to the Quick Trip and get a bag of dragon milk, you guys. You coming real quick or not? And for just 50 cents a day, your donation can help this poor Wisconsinite learn to speak English. Just kidding, you're all wrong, and we took the English language. Try and come take it back from us. Anyway, Focasia here, his face haunted his vision. Wait, what does that mean? Anyway, the explosion still rung in his ears. Mishra kept running and never once looked back. Who did he accidentally blow up? Oh, whatever, kids do dumb stuff. Next up, Stern Lesson. Hey, look, it's them again. Yay. Apparently the lesson didn't go very well and the teachers sucked. Must be in America. So, might as well just skip to the bottom. The brothers are brilliant, but their quarreling will be the death of me. Focasia, journal entry and delicious Italian bread product. But also it's a 3-cost blue instant, draw 2 cards, then discard a card, create a tapped Power Stone token. Next up, Focasia's Amulet. Is that like a dipping sauce you put the Focasia in? So it's a 5-cost 4/4 artifact creature construct. When it leaves the battlefield, you gain 2 life and unearth 4. So it's probably going to leave the battlefield twice. Still, not really worth it. Next up, Yodian Dissident, of course, from the Yodian Nation. During the great meme wars between Mishra and Urza, they invented the weapons-grade meme, yeeting things at the enemy, thus changing the name forever to the Yodians. They were formerly known as New Jersey. Subscribe for more great lore tips. So it's 2-cost 1 green 1 white 1/1 human. Oh, we already know where this is going. Oh my gosh, green-white humans is out of control. Green-white anything is out of control. It doesn't even have to be humans. But whenever an artifact enters the battlefield under your control, okay, put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. That's almost like the opposite of a go-wide strategy, and that's not good enough to go tall and wide at the same time, like, you know, the Westphal Space Program. Shout out to everybody who remembers that deck. So next up, Go for the Throat. You know this was going to be in there. It's one of my favorite modern spells from back in the day. Very underappreciated, very much more reliable than Doomblade. So it's a 2-cost black instant, destroy target non-artifact creature. Simple. Blow up any creature that isn't an artifact for 2. This is gonna probably kind of mess with standard because in every set they seem to think that the only thing that exists in a complete and utter vacuum is the set itself. Well, that's false on day 1, and it's even more false the day before rotation. Next up, our Gothian Opportunist. It's a 3-cost human scout. Thank God I thought that was an elf. 3/2. When our Gothian Opportunist enters the battlefield, create a tapped Power Stone token. Alright, so that exists. I don't think green's winning this war. Next up, Third Path Savant. It's a 3-cost blue 2/3 human wizard, and if you pay 7, you can draw 2 cards. Wow. You You might think, oh, dumb filler, oh, ha, funny, gimmicky card. Oh, you might be able to pay 7 and, like, draw your way out of a draft. Woo, otherwise I'm not going to put this in my constructed deck. Well, you must not be familiar with how control decks have worked in the last 4 years. This is going to be front and center, probably at least a 1 of, maybe a 2 of. With treasures ramped, the amount of control, the amount of sets legal, and the amount of completely out of control bonkers blue cards right now, as far as, like, good control and grabbing, like, something from the top 7 of your deck or whatever, yeah, people are going to play this. Next up, Yodian Medic yeets herself at the injured troops and then heals them. Very brave. It's a 3-cost white 1/4 human cleric soldier with lifelink. Lifelink and 1 attack for 3. I'm not feeling that. Next up, Bitter Reunion. It's a 2-cost red. I almost said green. Oh my gosh. Enchantment. When Bitter Reunion enters the battlefield, you may discard a card. If you do, draw 2 cards and then pay 1, sacrifice Bitter Reunion. Creatures you control gain haste until end of turn. Ooh, interesting ability. Okay, I'm kind of feeling that. I mean, the color red is so boring and abusive and obnoxious in game ruining. Second only to that of blue. And in case you didn't notice, they've been pushing red-blue in this set and in the last couple. Great. It's not front and center, but it's there. Well, anyway, next up we got Gaia's Courser. It's a 5-cost 4/5, and when it attacks, if there are 3 or more creature cards in your graveyard, draw a card. Okay, I mean, you're already losing, might as well reload it. You know, not a whole lot of self-mill going in green, but when has WotC decided in the last couple sets to draw within the lines of the coloring book labeled the Color Pie? Next up, Skitterbeam Battalion with a big old red outline for some reason. I guess that's actually printed on the card. Anyway, it's a 9-cost 4/4 trample haste, and when it enters the battlefield, if you cast it, create 2 tokens that are copies of it, which is just fantastic. Otherwise, prototype, you can cast it for 5 and get a 2/2, and it keeps that ability. So you get a little army of teeny tiny little itty bitty Skitterbeams. That's adorable. I don't know what to think of this. 9 is unplayable, and the prototype is like a cheap discount that's not good for what you pay. I mean, still, trample, haste, 3 of them, basically a 6/6 modulator for 5. Okay. But the other ones I've seen are just not good. Next up, Focaccia's welcome. Focaccias are always welcome when I'm eating. Oh, in case you're curious.
Focaccia.
Yeah, that probably would have been my guess. Oh well, Focaccias are delicious. You want people to pronounce it correctly, put an H on there, okay? So anyway, it's a 3-cost white enchantment, and whenever 1 or more creatures with mana value 3 or less enter the battlefield under your control, draw a card. This ability triggers only once each turn. Oh good, white card draw. It doesn't say non-token, so this actually could quite possibly be the single most broken card in the set, exclusively because of Go Wide Human Token Dump. Green-white right now. Yeah, it only triggers once each turn, but yeah, then they're only outdrawing me 2/1 while also going wide, while also dodging control, while also resurrecting, boosting stuff, while also giving it hexproof. That deck's virtually unbeatable right now. Next up, Mishra's Bauble, not actually in the set, it's a glorified masterpiece, and it's not worth that much. Moving on. Kayla's Reconstruction, which, where was this leaked from anyway? It's a 3-cost triple white plus X Sorcery Story Spotlight card, which we're at like 50 of those so far. And look at the top 7 cards of your library, put X artifact and or creature cards with mana value 3 or less from among them onto the battlefield, put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Well, it's capped at mana value 3 or less, and you're going to put it in a go-wide dump deck, but a go-wide dump deck doesn't have enough mana to drive this, so I don't know what this is for. Next up, Clay Champion. Ooh, spicy boys. So this is a standard legal mythic, and it's 4 generic plus X, also generic, artifact creature construct 2/2. So it enters the battlefield with 3 1/1 counters on it for each, I guess you would read it as for each 2 green mana spent to cast it. Okay. And then when it enters the battlefield, choose up to 2 other target creatures you control for each double white or 2 white spent to cast Clay Champion. Put a 1/1 counter on each of them. So in case you missed it, the X does absolutely nothing other than let you go above 4. And like I said, in a go-wide human dump deck, which this is going to heavily enable in the set, unfortunately, even though, it's already complete cancer. Although there are black sweepers, so, good luck. That might be the end of it. Who knows? Oh, and a crazy overpowered mono black card, so, just saying. You never know. Could be the end of that archetype. We'll see after the Banhammer drops, and it better be a couple weeks after release, because this is not looking good. But yeah, that deck as it stands right now does not have any kind of mana ramp. So you ain't getting this up to, you know, X equals 4, regular equals 4, then spending like 8 white on it or something. This is not going to happen. And it's only 2 other creatures, not all creatures. We have more powerful cards than this for less mana that will put a counter on all creatures. I think it's 3 color. We know the Ascendancy will, but that's completely different. I don't know. For a mythic, I don't get this. It's not legendary, but like, why would it be? I don't know. I don't know what we're looking at here. This is really strange. I guess you could drop it in for like a metric buttload of green and then have like, well, for every 2 green, you get 3 counters on it. That's huge. But you could have just cast a pure X card if it's Eternal format. Like Endless One or the other better versions of Endless One. So I don't know what's so special about this. It's got to be something we're missing. You know, that hasn't been revealed yet. So next up, Ashnod, Flesh Mechanist. It's a 1-cost black 1/1 legendary creature, human artificer with Death Touch. You can never have too many of those 1-cost Death Touchers. I don't care if it's green or black or both, the more the merrier, because it shuts down stupid red crap and abusive all-in, you know, I'm just going to send a werewolf with trample at you decks. And the game needs more of that, so when Ashnod Flesh Mechanist attacks, which, why would it? It's a defensive card, you may sacrifice another creature. If you do, create a tapped Power Stone token. Okay, that'd be kind of nice. And then if you pay 5, exile a creature card from your graveyard, create a tapped 3/3 colorless zombie artifact creature token. Ooh, we got some value here, and it's a valuable legendary rare 1-drop in black without being completely egregiously overpowered and a complete and utter disaster. I'm shocked. Next up, Fade from History. It's a 4-cost green sorcery. Each player who controls an artifact or enchantment creates a 2/2 green bear creature token, then destroy all artifacts and enchantments. Because cuddly little bears beat out robots any day of the week. I cannot agree more. Heck, I'd main board this in my mono white deck. It does say each player, so I guess if you're trying to nuke their artifact or enchantment deck, then they'd get more of a benefit and you'd still lose? I mean, even in a Zord deck, dude, this ain't gonna do it. So you'd have to be the jackass running a ton of artifacts. And then decide you want bears for some reason at sorcery speed. Yeah, I don't get it either. Too bad they all died during the Ice Age. Next up, Harbin, Vanguard Aviator. It's a 1 blue, 1 white, 3/2 legendary creature, human soldier with flying, and whenever you attack with 5 or more soldiers, oh great, creatures you control, get +1/+1 and gain flying until end of turn. So just swing and win. For 2 mana, just swing and win, plus is the 3/2 in the air in a primarily blue archetype. Fantastic. What a fair card. Next up, Thran Spider. It's a 3-cost 2/4 artifact creature, spider with reach, and when it enters battlefield, you and target opponent each create a tapped Power Stone token. Anything that helps you and your opponent equally is bad. This one's arguable, but it's still probably pretty bad. And if you pay 7, which you won't, I mean, I guess with Power Stones, sure. And I guess that's what's supposed to be powering these big giant prototype things. I don't know, whatever. Good luck keeping them out long enough, but yeah, pay 7, look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal an artifact card from among them and put it in your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in random order. Next up, the Fall of Krug. It's a 6-cost red sorcery, uncommon. Choose target opponent, destroy target land that player controls. No thanks, even for 6. And the Fall of Krug deals 3 damage to that player and 1 damage to each creature they control. I hate it. I hate everything about it. And another story spotlight card as retaliation for the Warlord's ambush. I wonder who that is, actually. At the Peace Summit, Mishra leveled Yodia's capital city. Well, at least somebody tried to assassinate them, I assume is where that's going. Good job, guys. Too bad you suck at your job. Anyway, next up, Hall of Tagson. It's a rare land. It taps for colorless, but comes in untapped. If you pay 1, you can add 1 mana of any color, aka filter land. And then if you pay 4, create a tapped Power Stone token. I can see that being pretty hot, just like I could see anybody playing best of 3 getting absolutely destroyed by people's sideboards once they figure out that you're running artifacts, one of the biggest, paint a target on my back archetypes that you can possibly have. It's just all going to be naturalized in low-cost kill. I mean, blue has that, witness protection or whatever that turns you into an ordinary citizen or whatever. 1 blue, and it turns your giant creature into a 1/1 with no abilities. Come on. Turn to Frog was good. This is better. So the price of this 1 card right here is going to indicate strongly how well their stupid giant robot archetype is doing, which the game's doing poorly just because WotC. So that's going to be an interesting benchmark, but we'll have to see. If this hits like $1, the set's dead on arrival. So let's look at some big chunkuses. First up, we got Depth Charge Colossus. It's a 9-cost 9/9, which, like I said, you can only reasonably summon with Power Stones. And pretty easily, I mean, yeah, okay, they're 2 apiece, But you can prototype it for 6 in blue. So it's a 6/6 then, and then it doesn't untap during your untap step. So, you know, big fat boy. And that's usually what, like a Leviathan or Tortoise ability? I want to say Tortoise. But then if you pay 3, you can untap it. Oh, this isn't the 2-step untap. It just doesn't untap at all. Okay, I don't know what that's nicknamed. It's not good though, but you can use Power Stones to pay for that ability. So, you know, just saying. So yeah, you get this out for peanuts and then manage to swing with it. Cool, but like 1 kill spell and this is gone, and that's why I think the whole thing's going to fall apart. Now that said, this would be in primarily blue, in theory. So next up, Rust Goliath, another big chungus. It's a 10 cost 10/10 because of course it's basically in green. Prototype is 5/3/5, cool. And then it has Reach and Trample, which a 3/5 Reach Trample for 5 is absolutely horrible. And then a 10/10, they're just going to see it coming and blow it away. So yeah, I'm not feeling this. But next up, Arcane Proxy. That's right. They put the word proxy on a card. Boy, if that ain't the biggest middle finger / we just don't care anymore signal. Unreal. Boy, that's really going to overshadow the upcoming Spider-Man lawsuit. Okay, just kidding. It's not Mysterio. Except in my fanfic universe it is. But anyway, it's a 7 cost colorless, but not really. 4/3. And when it enters battlefield, if you cast it, exile target instant or sorcery card with mana value less than or equal to Arcane Proxy's power from your graveyard. Copy that card. You may cast it without paying its mana costs. Now, the timing on this is a little confusing, but when you copy the card, I mean, I feel like there's something like that in Alchemy that works a little differently, but this ain't Alchemy, except that it's also an Alchemy, but the keyword isn't there. So copy that card to me means copy it. Well, it's not in hand because it's not real. Do you have to cast it immediately, or is it just floating out there in some zone that doesn't exist? I don't know. I've never seen a card like this. Anyway, you can prototype it for 3, double blue, 2/1. It's kind of dangerous, but 2 or less. We're probably going to see Isochron in the set. It's just a matter of, like, is it in the Glorified Masterpiece slot, or is it going to be main set, standard legal? So, lastly, we've got the Temporal Anchor. Oh, boy, a Teferi blue card that probably has something to do with time travel. I bet this doesn't have to do with turns. Just kidding, I bet it does. All right, triple blue, 6 cost legendary artifact. At least they put legendary on it, and I literally haven't even read it yet. Okay, so at the beginning of your upkeep, scry 2. Okay, for 6, you probably ought to be able to. Whenever you choose to put 1 or more cards on the bottom of your library while scrying, exile that many cards from the bottom of your library. Wait, so is that simultaneous, or your choice, or basically the ones you just put there? Whatever. So during your turn, you may play cards exiled with Temporal Anchor. Wow, so the worst control color in the game now has this. Free scry, free cards on scry, and you're basically outdrawing them 3-1, 2-1? At least it costs 6, except guys, you want to know a secret? It actually costs 3. You know why? Power Stones. So this is going to be complete and utter ass cancer, so you know what? Let's leave it on this. And it's a story spotlight card without any kind of story or flavor text. Just all around failure, Watsy, just like this set and just like everybody who works there. I hope you all enjoy the pay cuts that come along with your shitty performance lately. I'll see you guys next video.